Welcome back. What are we called? To Happily Booked, the bookcast where two kindred spirits believe that the pursuit of happiness is the same thing, or more or less the same thing, as reading a good book and being able to talk about it. We're your hostesses, Brooke and
Beck.
And this episode is our book club episode.
Woo woo
Woo! I just apologize in advance, okay? I feel like that's how I should start off every episode. I'm sorry. There it is. I sounded a little bit funny. It's like I wasn't talking in the front of the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like it's supposed to have a front, but, whatever. As long as it doesn't fall off the table. All right. We're really winging it today. Yeah, our book club book. What You Are Looking For Is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama, which I think it was pronounced a little bit differently in the audiobook, but I don't remember exactly how it was pronounced, so I'm sorry.
I also don't remember how it was pronounced, if it was pronounced differently. I always think you do a good job with the Japanese names.
Thank you. Did I just hold it one day? I did.
You
I
did,
held
yeah.
it. This is a really nice table for this, but the ends are rounded, so it doesn't hold the stands very well. And it's held yours okay, I think. But
it's being difficult.
Yeah. All right. I think that'll be okay. As long as I don't need to move it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I try to pronounce everything correctly and in general. But it doesn't work out a lot of the time. Because I just don't know, Okay. I did check our email earlier. I don't think we have any emails pertaining to the book club, so I'm going to double check that.
Okay.
Just in case before we really dive in. I know my mom didn't finish the book.
Oh.
I know, shocking. Normally she's always on it with our book club books, but she started it a little late.
So did you.
Yeah, so did I. Truth be told, I think she forgot about it.
Oh.
Which is fine. It happens. No, we don't have any emails. Okay. Just want to make sure before we got into it. Yeah, no, truth be told, I think she forgot about it, which is fine, Tracy. It's fine. And then I think she listened to another episode, and of course we were bringing it up every episode since we decided until now. And I think she was like, "Oh, I need to listen to that." But she didn't finish, which is fine. Yeah, I started it so I technically started it a week ago, but I had started listening to it, and I was like, you know what? This isn't going to work out. I think I'm going to read it on Kindle. And the narrators were fine. It wasn't because of the narrators or anything like that. It was just logistically, I was going to have to just read it on my Kindle for time's sake. And that's what I did. I pretty much read most of it on our flight to Charleston. And then I read it while we were there. I finished it before going to bed. And which is why I wanted to go back and jot down all my notes. Normally when we do a short story collection, or well, I guess for our book club, we've only technically done one until now. But whenever I try to do short stories and I try to really pinpoint what I liked about each story, I stop before I proceed with the next one and I jot down my thoughts and everything. But I didn't do that. I just kept going. I was like, I've got to read the book. So I was trying to go back and jot down my thoughts, and lo and behold, never really got the chance to finish doing that. So that's why I apologize in advance. I'm going to try to make sense and talk about the book. But we'll see what happens.
Well, and I read it 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's wild. And, in a couple days, I'm supposed to be going to Raleigh for the book club with Lexi, which was Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaghy. And she finished it a month ago. I'm reading it right now.
That's funny.
I was like, that's crazy. Anyway, so, yeah, y'all were ahead of the game.
I was going to listen to it again, but I didn't.
I mean,
I could have listened to it all weekend and honestly in one day because I was off from
it's so
Thursday.
Short, too.
Yeah, I could have listened to it all in one day. But I was running around Birmingham and Auburn.
Yeah.
And so far away from home.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't.
Right.
I didn't think the girls would want to listen to it, but it's a really good story.
It's a pretty good story. I like it. Yeah, so I guess what would you have rated it? You know, what was your overall feel of it?
So, like, I'm pretty sure. Well, I think, what is this? Goodreads. I did a review online for it. I don't know if it's for Amazon or Goodreads, but I gave it a 5-star in that review. I really enjoyed it. I want to buy it physically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would love to own this book.
I love that. That makes me so happy.
I don't know if we were going to do a quote or not, but I got a quote. I used ChatGPT to help me since I don't have a physical copy. But I said, what is a poignant quote from this book? And it came up with this quote. It's not so much that the book itself has power, but the way you read it gives it value.
Mm-hmm.
And then ChatGPT goes on to say, this line beautifully captures a central theme of the novel. And I think it is. I think it does.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good quote for this book.
Yeah. Yeah, I read it on Kindle, so I'm glad you brought up a quote. I have several quotes stocked away. And, I say that, and sometimes they're just like random things that I've highlighted just because whatever meaning it has just sits with me. Mm-hmm. Not that it would be quotable.
Yeah, but it might.
In general.
Share one with us.
Well, one that I share might be an actual quote. One that people would say, oh yeah, that's a good quote. Oh my gosh. I liked this one. It's from the very first story. I know we're going to try to dive into it a little bit more in just a minute, but the very first story resonated a lot with me. I don't know if it resonated a lot with you.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's it. I felt it, I felt it. Because she's in the character's in this job where, and she thinks in her mind, she thinks about the fact that jobs kind of define a person, and how she's almost like ashamed, I guess, of her job. Mm-hmm. And she feels kind of bored in her job. She doesn't see any positivity in her job, any happiness. She doesn't need, what's the point of this job? I should move on to a different job. And I thought it was interesting how we read that about her. Like it shouldn't matter to anybody what other people think of the job you have, right? And for me personally, I don't care what jobs people have. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got to do something. Like they have to do something, and there's jobs people don't even think about, but somebody's doing it, and somebody has to do it,
right?
And I think it's hard sometimes for people who work in retail or fast food, specifically, or food in general, but more so fast food, I think, to not be proud of yourself,
Yes.
That's tough.
Because it's how people treat you.
Yeah, it's how people treat you. They think, a lot of people will think that job is lesser.
But how are you going to eat if this person's not serving you? Right.
And not that I've ever thought that way about anybody ever, but I, maybe thought that about myself because I'm not doing something that would maybe be considered a real career, at the time. And I thought it was interesting though that she's not moving up in the business. She doesn't want to move up in the business. And that was something that always came up. I'm sure always comes up for you and anybody else that works in that department. But oh, you're not this? Why not this? How about I want to stay where I'm at? Is that not good enough?
Right.
It's a pain sometimes. But I like the one when he said she met with her old friend, and he said eating is important, work hard and eat properly. I thought that was nice. Here it is. I think she's talking to the librarian, and so this is where that quote comes from. But she said, "You manage to find employment. You go to work every day and you feed yourself. That's a fine achievement." I'm not getting choked up. You're getting choked up.
Also, that's funny that you said that because I'm about to apologize. I may or may not cry.
I know.
This was such a good book.
It was that kind of story, you know, and that was only just the first story.
I know.
But they were all kind of different, I think, to try and reach different people.
Right.
In different
but the
parts
outcome
of life
is very similar.
Right.
I love that she had like this idea of this other lady who worked in the department store with her. Mm-hmm. And it...
I know, man. I know.
And it was a false impression.
Mm-hmm. It's not even sad.
What is wrong with me?
I know.
I'm not even pregnant or anything. Hormones. Just that, and this lady that she could not stand ended up helping her.
Right. I really liked that too. I really did. And I liked that lady helped show her that a lot of the times it's your own mindset. Like, and I tried, not that I was like, you know, I'm not a role model. I don't count myself as a big role model for anybody. But at the time, I would try to be like that. Like,
right.
You have to have a better attitude. And I know sometimes my attitude wasn't great. But I did try, because there was sometimes where you was like, you just have to sometimes show up to work and tell yourself you're going to have a good day.
Right.
And no matter what the job is, no matter what position you're in, no matter what these stupid people say to you, maybe they're having a bad day, you know, whatever. Not that justifies it entirely, because I didn't do nothing to you, but you never know. And I liked that. I liked that she showed her how you can just approach it with a different view, I guess. Different eyes.
I really enjoyed reading this book too, because it shows like the difference in the Japanese culture.
Yeah.
They're so very respectful. Mm-hmm. Like, she didn't like that lady, but that lady didn't know she didn't like her because she was respectful to her because she was older.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people show respect on the outside, but on the inside they have these really big emotions that if they were American, they wouldn't be hiding it.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, not that I'm saying you shouldn't, that you should like hold in your feelings or your emotions, but you should never be rude to somebody.
Yeah.
Because of how you're feeling about something. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking about the lady who works for the magazine too. Like, when she is slighted and she's still respectful of the lady who gets her promotion. Yeah. And deep down inside, we wanted to slash her tires.
I felt awful for her. I felt awful for her.
I just love their culture. Seems so nice. Like, they appreciate tradition. They're very traditional, very respectful, very polite. And also it gives you like a look into how they do school differently and how they do like your work assignments differently. Yeah. I thought it was very interesting from the cultural perspective too.
Yeah. I liked how they could, I don't remember exactly what they called it, but you could go and apply for different jobs, or you could sign up for some kind of something, and people would send you offers for the job. Right. And I liked that. Not that, maybe we have something like that. I don't know. Right. But I just thought that was really nice. Like, oh, you care about somebody trying to get a job. Right. So I thought that was nice. Yeah. I'm trying to think more about the second story, which was about the guy who wanted an antique shop. Mm-hmm. And I like how, I don't know if you noticed it or remembered it, but in that one, when he was younger, he would visit the antique shop, but then suddenly it shut down. But the guy who owned the antique shop, they said in his story that they heard he was in a lot of debt, and he just, he ran for the hills, he disappeared. But that wasn't actually the case. He came back up, I think in the last story, and turns out that wasn't the case. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that hit the man as a boy really looked up to him. So I'm glad that his image of him was not completely ruined in the end.
Right.
But I liked that one a lot because of how it talked about how, like, you can still work for your dream. You can have a dream job career in mind, but was like, logistically, and how do you actually achieve that? Well, some people still have to work their normal job, right? And in his head, he was like, well, I'll never be able to quit my job and open my antique store because I'll never have enough money to do it, or I can't figure it out. And I liked how he realized after visiting I think it was a Cats Books and Beer cafe. I thought, wow, what a guy. After visiting that and talking to him, he was like, oh, you know what? He didn't quit his day job. This is only his second job. And I don't remember what they said exactly. I think he said like a parallel career or something. That was neat. And now he has this understanding of, oh, sometimes you gotta do both.
Right.
If you really want to do this, then you gotta do both. Because if you need the money to start your dream job, you're getting the money from your steady, secure job that you originally have. So I like that he figured that out.
I didn't think about it till just this moment, but that's kind of like what we're doing.
I know. I thought about that when I was reading it, and I was like, oh, man, look at that.
I mean, you're not working anymore at a job where you get paid. You're working. But you're actually working your dream job. I'm still working my now job and doing this podcast with you, which we hope will be our main job one day, and also trying to do my homestead.
Right.
And just doing little by little. And
sorry.
That's okay. I think that's funny that that's kind of like what we're doing.
Yeah. I don't remember what I was going to say. That's my problem. I have to sometimes just say it or it doesn't come out.
Yeah, you should have just cut me off. That would have been fine with me.
Oh, yeah. And I liked how he was like, oh, who does this with you? And he's like, oh, my wife. And I thought it was nice that it was brought up that, like, a happily, like, married couple my idea of how they should support each other.
Yes.
You know, and what they want and stuff. I think a lot of people have this idea that, like, for example, before me and Austin got married, people were like, oh, you're going to have to sell your motorcycle. You're going to have to do this once you get married. And I'm like, why? I want to ride on the back of the motorcycle. Why do you have to do that? You know, who's telling you this? Who's telling you have to completely change how you are, what you have, your toys, quote unquote, if we're going to talk about like a bike or something like that. But instead, you should be, you know, oh, that's what you want. That's your dream. Okay, I'll help you.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
And I like that they talked about that and they brought it up. Like, his wife was like, oh, sure, you want to open this cafe with beer and books and cats? Let's do it. You know, whatever. I have no problem with it. Let's go for it. And then his, at the time, girlfriend, and then he like was like, hey, oh no, she said we should get married so that we can make your dream work. I thought that was really sweet.
That is sweet.
And of course, she wanted to sell her, you know, her what's it called? The sea glass. She wanted to sell her sea glass, and I mean that would only make sense.
Yeah.
So I liked that. I liked how that worked out.
My ex-husband wanted to have a restaurant, and I wanted that for him. He wanted me to work there, and I told him, I don't really want to work in a restaurant.
Yeah.
But I want you to have your restaurant if that's what you want.
Yeah.
And the girls and I will come visit you. We'll hang out and stuff. Obviously, I mean,
it's not funny.
He does not have his restaurant, and that's
a whole nother.
That's on him. His, you know, whatever he's doing. We're not married anymore, so that doesn't affect me. But I wanted him to have what he wanted.
Yeah.
Is where I was going with that story.
Sorry, and I wasn't laughing at that.
No, I
was
know.
laughing at, now I work in a restaurant. You know, like, it's just life.
I mean,
it's just life.
But because of where I was working at the time.
Right, yeah.
Was the reason I didn't want to. I mean,
and that is valid. I would 1,000% agree with you.
It's not all roses, you know?
It's really not. It's not all thorns either, as we're trying to think about while reading this book.
Exactly.
But
because as we
hard.
stated, it's a mindset. You have to have your
is.
mind right.
It really is. And I, there's one coworker at the time that I think of a lot about this. But she would come to work and be mad. Come to work, be mad. Be mad at people. Don't even think.
Oh.
And that really that causes you to take things the wrong way. Somebody could say something to you and they could not even mean it in any sense that you're taking it.
Right.
But that's how you're taking it because you're already mad.
Right.
You're already bitter. You're already upset.
And heaven forbid someone have to correct you.
Oh, yeah. I hate to break it to you. If you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. But, yeah. So I think about certain people, but more so one person in particular that I won't name. But, yeah. And then I liked in that story how he was going to propose to his girlfriend, but then she's like, oh, we should get married so that we can make this dream come true. And he was like, well, amazing. Never let her go. But
he's like, it's meant to be.
It's meant to be. And he's like, but what if it fails? And she's like, is that not allowed? I thought that was profound to me.
Then we'll do something else.
I loved that. I loved that a lot. That really, I don't know. If you think about it, about what we're doing, I don't want this to fail. But it's just like, you're not a failure.
Right.
That's nice. Then the next one, and I didn't, normally when I do short stories, I gave this story a star, this story this many stars, whatever, and I average it up.
Uh-huh.
I'm whispering so nobody else hears us. And
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone. But I didn't do that, so in case, that's how you wanted this to go, that's not how it's going. Then I think the next one was the lady who was an editor.
Yes.
And then she had a baby. And I got so mad.
I was upset too.
I was so mad. At first, I was so mad. That they were like, you can't be an editor, basically.
You have a baby.
You have a baby. Which, yeah, that takes a lot. But you don't know that she couldn't have been an editor.
Right.
And you're not letting her. She was such a good editor. She did such a good job for y'all. Yes. And you're just not going to let her try.
That's the thing that really upsets me. Like, she has nothing but a positive past reference with you.
Yeah.
And you think she's a different person because she had a baby?
Yeah. I got so mad. I was like, and that's what this book was for. It had to make me mad, Of course. It had to really make us mad so that we could see the rest of the story.
Right. I also was unhappy with her husband.
Yeah.
Because she still has a job.
Right.
And she still has to come home and clean your house and cook your food.
And she's dropping the child off and picking the child up.
And you can't pick the baby up once a week.
Right. Yeah, that irritated me. I don't think he had as much of a redeeming arc as I needed him to.
Well, I will say...
He was redeemed a little bit, but I feel like he could have been better.
I will say that that's another thing that I really appreciated about this book is in all of her inner dialogue, she never even thought divorce.
Right.
I do like that. That never came across her mind because I was like, oh no, I don't want the characters to get divorced because he's being a total idiot. Yeah. And she worked through what she was going through.
Yeah.
And that made her happy at home as well. Mm-hmm. I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked I told Emma, I said, I guess in Japan they still have like cereals in their magazines and newspapers like we used to have here.
Yeah.
Because I liked how she had gotten that lady to write that cereal for the magazine and then helped her turn it into a book.
Yeah.
And that was another thing, like that was something very positive she did for that magazine. Mm-hmm. And I liked that even though she had been, I thought the story was going to go like a different way at one point because when they had kind of kicked her to the curb, so to speak, and she was looking for new employment, that lady came in for a meeting with the other lady.
Yeah.
And she went to lunch with her. I thought, she's going to throw these people under the bus. And she's going to somehow, which is something an American would do.
Right. Right.
Figure out how to make it good for her and the author and screw over the company that screwed her over. But she didn't do that either.
Right. And you're right, though, which is something an American would do. And so it was like, which we would have understood.
Right.
But it was nice to not see that.
Yes, it was. It was nice to see that it went in a totally different direction.
Yeah. It was nice to see that everybody can more so be friendly.
Right. And even the jerks who didn't deserve her loyalty,
right,
they won too.
Yeah.
Like, they got the new young person who didn't have a baby, and they didn't have any repercussions from the mistreatment that they gave this lady.
Mm-hmm.
And she got what is probably an even better job,
mm-hmm.
but especially for the position she's in now, because I loved how when she walked in to the new job, that the main editor came out and was talking to someone's child who was sitting there, and there was a baby, and it's like, it was just very, not only family friendly, but it's like, yeah, bring your kids to work.
I love that.
I love that too.
I was like, that was so much better than you could have ever done.
Yeah. I really love that.
And mainly only because of the like time of your life you're in now. You know, if she didn't have a baby, then it wouldn't have mattered as much, I guess. Right. But I liked that a lot. I thought that was sweet. I got choked up when that story, I think, did me in pretty badly.
I cried. I'm pretty sure I cried at least 4 times reading this book, and that was one of the 4.
Oh, you should read The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff. You're going to cry the entire time. No, but that one, and I think the first story are the ones that like really like touched my heart, I guess. But yeah, when the guy was like, "Oh, good, you are her friend that she reconnected with. Oh, good, you didn't get that job," and she's like, "Huh?" He's like, because this position's opening up at this publishing company. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "What's it called? Production? No, not right." And she's like, "But they write kids books," and it was clicking in my head, and I was like, "Oh my goodness." Oh, the emotions. You have to take that job. It's going to be more better than you could have even imagined. Oh, I'm in tears. You know, like it was just, I was so happy that ended up being her job.
Me too. I really loved that.
I also enjoyed that, like, they hired the younger, newer, whatever, mm-hmm. to be the editor and stuff. And at first she was very kind of bitter towards her, mm-hmm. Which I think we all would have been. Americans would have shown her that we were bitter towards her. But that one, she never showed her, mm-hmm. really, that she was feeling spiteful mm-hmm. or anything like that. But that then, later on, she was like, she's struggling too. Mm-hmm. I was like,
I thought it was great she had the realization.
Yeah.
I love, too, that she didn't show her bitterness to the lady, because I think in the end that they had a mutual understanding and respect. But it also wasn't that lady's fault that she was hired in place of her. Yeah. She didn't know all that backstory. Right. She just knew she applied for a job and she got it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. What was the next story?
I'm so thirsty. I wish I hadn't left my drink at that restaurant.
You can have a sip of mine. There's no limit in it.
The next one was the poor unemployed guy who felt like a loser because he lived with his mom.
Yeah.
And I don't think he should have felt like a loser.
I don't think that either. I think, although we can imagine that's probably hard not to feel that way. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't think he should have felt so
I think he could have tried harder before the things that happened that led him to getting his job. But I think, too, he was depressed. So you can't really say, suck it up. Get over your depression and try harder. Right. Depression's hard.
Yeah. So and it hits people differently.
It does.
And
I just feel bad that, sorry guys, about to cry again. His mom,
funny, I'm sorry.
His mom obviously loved him so much and didn't care.
I know. I loved that. I loved that they pinpointed that. Like, that she never, rushed him to get a job or
No.
she never like did anything. She just loved
And he
him and
was
took
like,
care of him.
my other brother is obviously her favorite. How can you think that?
I know.
Just because he has a job and you don't?
I know.
She could have been such a mean person, and she wasn't. I like this story too. Because isn't he the one who like goes to his high school thing and they dig up he only had the time capsule. He only had one friend who was supportive of his writing in school. And they all kind of made fun of him a little bit at the thing.
And like, how immature do you have to be a grown man or a grown woman? But I think they were men, to then bully somebody else who was also a grown man who just came to visit to get his time capsule. And how big of a bully do you have to be? And immature.
You know, he thought he was the loser, but they were actually the losers.
I can't stand. I don't like bullies in general.
No.
But like, a grown man bully?
Right.
What are you, a man child? Like, it makes me so mad.
Are you 13 or are you 33?
Right. Like, don't. And that really made me mad now that you bring that up.
But I love that. This was the one I was trying to remember the specifics on how it ended. He befriended the librarian in training, correct?
Yeah.
And he drew her a picture.
Yeah, and he was going to throw it away, and she was like, no.
Yeah, you can't throw that away. And then, does he get a job at the library?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
And I think at first it started off as more like a temporary job, like a 1-year commitment.
Yes,
and then afterwards, I think he became more of a permanent.
Right. That's right.
While he then started to draw for people, or illustrate, I should say, for people.
Yes.
So I thought that was really nice.
And he was getting to do what he always wanted to do. And he found a new passion too. Like, he found something else that he enjoyed doing as well. So
yeah, I enjoyed that. Like, he had this idea of what he wrote in the time capsule, because of course, you don't remember everything perfectly,
right?
So you have this idea of what it would be, and then they finally took it out, and he saw it, and he was just like, "This isn't even what I thought I wrote." I think what he thought he wrote was something like, I'm gonna create art that I'm gonna be famous for, or something like that. It's not it, but something like that. But what it really was I'm going to make art that people remember, or something like that.
Oops, sorry.
Which might sound the same, but it's not the same. And that's what he ended up doing, was just playing a smaller part in life and being remembered, but maybe not being famous or rich, but to just be remembered and go down in history. And I thought that was really nice how they touched on that. Like, I think they were talking about Darwin, and I think the guy was Wallace. I don't know. But that's what they were talking about, like the guy who apparently also
right, and he's not as famous.
And he wasn't famous at all.
That's why you can't remember. Sorry.
I know. I was like, who is he talking about? I thought that was funny. But he did like other things within the science world that still had an impact, and you're still going to be known for doing it. It's just because you're not rich and famous doesn't mean the mark you leave isn't good enough.
Right.
And like, that's kind of the path he went on with his art. And yeah, that's what I want to say. Sometimes the memory is good enough.
Right.
So I like that about that. Did you think it was kind of funny that like almost every, there was like, I think it was the lady who had the child, who had the baby and then a toddler. I think she's the only one who didn't think this. But every time they saw the reference librarian lady, they were like, oh my gosh, she's gigantic.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny. And she's almost not real. Like, she's almost like a supernatural being, which is just, from my experience so far with translated Japanese fiction, that adds up. Like, she's just not even, almost not even like a real person. And so outlandish and mysterious and magical. She's actually a person, though, as we come to find out. But I thought it was like kind of funny that the only one who didn't seem to comment on her size was the woman who had a baby. I think that's interesting.
I didn't even notice that.
I think it's interesting because it's like, why comment on somebody's size like that?
Yeah, literally everyone
at all. But then the woman,
wow, she's so big.
Right? I mean, they were like, one person even compared her to, I think, Baymax.
Yeah,
the character Baymax.
They did.
And then somebody said like what's it? I can't think of what he's called. Not the Michelin Man. Is it the Michelin Man? Something like that. A big white fluffy.
The Michelin Man is
big and white.
Yeah. It's basically like, I think it's a lot of tires that are stacked up.
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting because in my head, I went straight for, well, when you have a baby, your mind goes into a totally different world, about like your body, parenthood. You might not know anything until you have a baby. I don't know anything until I had a baby. I'm still learning things, like I don't know. But not that I would have commented on her size anyway, but like, I think people who have babies go through that, see how self-conscious you can be, is what I'm getting at. And how hard it can be to come back from something like that. So I just thought it was interesting that she's the only one who didn't comment on the lady's size. And I didn't know if that's why, or I don't know, but I just thought it was interesting.
I will say that Asian societies are more, you wouldn't think this because of how judgmental Americans are. They're more judgmental on fat people.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend whose wife is Chinese, and if she puts on 1 pound, she'll get out the vacuum cleaner, and he's like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I'm exercising." And she's like toothpick thin anyway.
Oh my gosh.
And when we went on mission trips to Nepal, they're like, why are you trying to hide the fat man in the back talking about my dad? And like, they would make comments about how fat I was. And I wasn't even actually fat at the time. I thought I was fat, but when I look at pictures of myself, I'm like, no, you look really good. But I'm bigger. I was bigger than all of them. And so they would like, and that hurt my feelings a lot, but they don't understand that because it's not how their mind works. And maybe judgmental is not the right word. I don't think necessarily they were judging me for being fat. They're just very blunt.
Yeah, I hate that though. About like,
it's just, that's how people are. And like, it used to hurt my feelings to be called fat. And now I'm just like, well, you are. I know it makes people upset when I say that about myself.
I don't like it.
But I don't hate myself, and I don't fat shame myself. I don't want anyone to think that. Yeah. Of course I want to lose some weight, but I'm happy with who I am.
Yeah.
Like I don't want people to think that at all. I don't necessarily think that they mean it the way that it sounds to us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there will almost always be that kind of divide too. Like that's a hard thing to figure out.
Well, and probably too, like especially Nepal is a third world country. So a long time ago, when this country wasn't rich, and in other societies, poor people are thin because they're malnourished, and wealthy people are maybe fat, quote unquote.
Right.
Because they can eat better.
Right.
They have better access to medical, whatever. So fat is considered healthy. Mm-hmm. And thin is maybe not necessarily as healthy. But, that depends too. So they might be looking at it in a different way that, oh, well, she has money because she's fat. Versus this person is thin, or maybe they're not unhealthy, but they're not wealthy.
They don't have as much money.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that may have something to do with it.
I have heard that, and like, I don't know. I can't tell you exactly when or where or how or why. Or who. There we go.
We got off. I'm sorry.
No,
I blame myself.
I think that was good. The book brought this up, so that's funny. The next one was, I have the bonus gifts saved in my phone. The felting she did.
Yes.
The next one I think was the earth, unless that. Okay, so the frying pan was the first one. The cat was the second one because of the antique store. The plane was for the guy's brother coming back on a plane, and then the earth was the next one, and I cannot think of the story. What?
The last story is the retired salesman. He
And
worked
that's
for the cookie
the crab.
The crab. Oh.
The felted crab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember all the. I didn't remember all the
I
felted
like the
items.
little felted things because in my head I was like, okay, the book cover should have been redone to have these felted
items
things on the cover. You know. Oh my gosh, I can't think of it. I need to go look in my Kindle.
Okay, it says
that was the lady with the kid who. What did she have? Maybe she had the earth.
Hold on a second.
I think she had the earth. I might be missing one.
I know there was a frying pan too, but when I asked ChatGPT, it's not giving me the. It says the first one is a bluebird, but I don't remember that.
No, it's not. Unless that was supposed to be the original or something.
And then the second one it says was a cuckoo clock. I don't remember that.
No.
Do you remember that?
No. No, the last one was for the crab. I think the earth must have been, no, the earth was for the guy who didn't have a job because he ended up looking at all of the books about the insects and learning about Darwin, whatever, and started drawing again because of the pictures of the bugs and everything he saw. So I think the earth was him.
I asked ChatGPT, are you sure there wasn't a frying pan? He said, yes, you're absolutely right to ask. In fact, there is a felted frying pan. What's it say? It's given to Hiroya Suda, not the glasses, as I mistakenly said earlier. Thank you for catching that.
Austin's like, you need to be nice to Google when it doesn't work properly, like for the house and stuff, because when they take over, I need to be friendly so that they don't kill me. So, be nice to your laptop.
Yes, but I put, was there a crab? He said, yes, there was a crab. The felted crab was given to Masao Gono, the retired salaryman.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. The crab is a gentle nudge toward realizing that moving sideways is still moving.
Oh, yes, it was. I liked that. Yeah, I hated that he felt so like, well, now I don't know what to do. Which I'm sure a lot of people who go into retirement are like, well, what do I do? Because from a certain age, you're like, okay, you have to get a job, work every day for the rest of your life. And then you retire and you don't know what.
More than that, it was more than he didn't know what to do. He felt worthless.
Yeah.
His self-worth was wrapped up in his job because he had some place to go and he always had something to do.
Yep.
And now he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of sad to, listen to his story. It really made me sad, sad, and I kind of laughed. And I was also mad at the policeman all at the same time.
Yeah.
When he was going to the market for his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, he goes to the market, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I know the other guy went to the market for his mom.
He was going. That was when he was looking for the community center.
Okay.
And he was passing the school.
And he was thinking about his daughter when his daughter was little, and he was just watching the children, thinking about his daughter. And the policeman, what's he thinking? This old man is a pedophile? He can't just watch children play. He's not trying to do anything. He's not trying to talk to the children.
Right.
Why are you harassing him?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Let me see your ID." And he's like,
I didn't bring my ID.
Not only that, but I felt like Mr. Gono was a little bit antagonistic towards the policeman because he was being harassed.
Yeah.
But then his wife, he had to call his wife to get her to bring his license or his ID. And that I think he got in trouble with her because he gave the policeman a hard time.
Yeah. And then she was like, well, what do you expect him to do? You're like wearing sweatpants, walking by the school with a hood up. Like, he's going to watch you. It was just so, the way she chastise him for it. But I don't remember who it was. Oh, he was going to the community center to learn whatever Go is. I don't know if it's some kind of game or something.
Yeah.
But to learn how to do that, and the instructor guy who let him into the class for a cheaper price than anybody else or whatever, he was like, oh, well, basically just you wait, you're home all the time. Your wife's not going to like you now because she's not going to have any time to cool off from an argument if y'all have one. And like, I didn't like all the other stories were like, no, this is how you should look at this relationship. This is how you should be positive when you go to work. Like, this is what you should do. You're having a hard time, but it's okay. And you should keep trying. And then this guy's like, no, she's probably going to want to divorce you. Dude, he just retired. Oh my goodness. I was like, jeez.
I love that he found poetry and that he went to talk to his daughter, and one of her favorite poets was also one that, or actually it wasn't also one, but he went and looked up her favorite poet, I think. And he ended up loving that poetry too. So that was something that he could talk to his daughter about.
Yeah.
And I really liked that.
I liked that too. I liked that he desired to connect with his adult daughter and somehow found a way to do it.
Yeah.
And it was nice. And he was, polite to his adult daughter and liked his adult daughter. So I liked that. That was really nice.
Was proud of her.
Built her up.
I also really liked that he wanted to have something in common with her, to talk about with her and spend time with her. And since he was retired, he had time to do that.
Yeah.
He went and he had lunch with her.
It did sting my heart a little bit when he was like, I don't remember the flower, but he wanted to watch like tulips or something bloom every year. And he was like, oh, I have all this time now. I can watch them fully bloom. And he thought for a second that he would love to do that with his daughter. And he was like, but I don't think she'd want to do that. And I was like,
yeah, that's very sad. I
was like, how do you know?
Just ask her.
Ask her. She probably would. It just made me sad to think that he thought she wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I think he thought she wasn't proud of him or something because he was retired.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand.
Or like she's an adult now, and so she doesn't have time for you to treat her like a child. Like,
right.
I don't know. Or like you're not like a child. I mean like your precious little girl.
Right.
There's a difference.
Listen, she wants to still be your precious little girl.
Yeah. And I just thought that was really sweet. I mean, I thought that was sad. And then how they interacted later, I thought was sweet.
And she's like, he went to see her, and she's like, Dad, she's so happy to see him.
Yeah.
And I think that probably helped him feel a little better too.
Yeah.
And then didn't he also get a job? Like, he was talking to the maintenance man who said, oh yeah, when I retired, I got bored too. That's why I got this job.
He did do something. I can't think of what it was though, but it had to do with the community center.
That's what I thought. He was like, not security, but maybe the janitor or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And he went like once a week or something.
Yeah.
I might be getting him confused with the other guy who got the job there, because I think he only went a couple times a week.
Yeah. I don't remember.
This is what happens when you read 4 weeks out.
And I just practically read them, but
I really loved how all the stories had good endings.
Yes. It was a happy book.
Yes.
That was the goal, to have happy endings.
It was so good. And what I really loved was how they all the stories kind of, they probably like walked by each other.
Yes.
All the time.
There were some references, and there may have been more, and I didn't notice those. But like, the guy who was depressed and didn't have a job and then got a job there, near the end of his story, he looked over and saw the last retired old man, that's who it actually was talking to the librarian. So like he saw that. And then some of the characters were associated with other characters.
Yeah,
from other
I noticed that like at the first couple of stories or whatever.
So,
but I love that there was one central person that they all talked to. Yeah, and she helped every single one of them.
Yeah,
and
I liked almost everything she said was a quote. Like she had
Yes.
like wisdom in like all of her initial like responses
Yes.
to everybody.
And she was a really good character too. Like her little tin that she kept all of her needlework in.
Yeah.
Was everyone recognized it as the honey dome cookies, and that's what the salesman or salaryman or whatever he's called. That's what Mr. Gono sold.
Yeah,
were those cookies, and I love that it referenced later that was like the first gift her husband ever gave her, and it talked about like how sweet their marriage was, and I just love that. This is what I told Emma. We go through life thinking, am I doing anything that's beneficial? This is something that made me cry.
I was going to ask you if this is what made you cry.
I definitely cried when I told her this.
I get it.
We all go through life wondering if we're doing anything important that actually helps other people. This shows you all this lady did was sit in a library, and yeah, she gave some cute little presents when she told people a list of books to go read. That's all she really did.
Yep.
But those little acts of kindness led to other things. I'm so sorry.
Life-changing
This is what I hate about myself. I hate that I can't control my tears. And I cry about everything, you guys. I cry if I'm happy. I cry if I'm mad.
I know.
I cry if I'm sad. So I'm just a ball of tears all the time for no reason.
I literally told Austin, I was like, almost everything I read makes me cry. Literally, almost every single book I read makes me cry.
I just love that it's proof that the littlest things that you do that are helpful to someone could be a really big thing for them.
Yeah, it has a bigger impact, or it could have a bigger impact than you could even imagine.
And that goes back to the first story. Oops, sorry. And what we were talking about, like in those thankless jobs or seemingly thankless jobs where people are so mean to you and look down on you because you're not as well educated as them, or they think you're not, because why would someone with a college degree be working in a fast food restaurant? You're not better than that person. And as a matter of fact, if you're having a bad day and they treat you the way you're treating them, you're not going to have a good day. You're going to keep on having a bad day. But don't you remember when that person that you belittle is overly nice to you and makes you feel better and helps your day go better? And so I love that the first story, and then in the librarian too, like how it shows no matter what the smallest thing that you do that is kind can be huge for someone else. I love that.
Yeah, I think that was overall the biggest, I don't know if you would say theme, but message of the story. So I like that.
It's very good.
I like that.
It was such a good story.
Yeah. Try to remember the positive, people. Try to remember the positive. Don't dwell on the negative. Yeah. So was this the first translated Japanese like fiction that you can recall reading?
It was.
And it sat really well with you?
It did. I loved it.
So, in the like synopsis, just before the synopsis or something, it's like a blurb or whatever. It says, like, for the fans of Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which is that other series that I've so far have read it in its entirety in English. I think there's one right now that hasn't been published in English yet, but that is a very good series you might enjoy.
I might.
It's basically the same feeling, you know. You'll probably cry tears of happiness. I did, and but they're very short. So far, I think they've all been on Everand now. But those are very good, very similar. And I actually thought, although those are very good books that I think you would enjoy if you enjoyed this one, I think they should have said that in a similar aspect, you might enjoy There's No Such Thing as an Easy Job. That's what the name of the book is.
Okay.
I can't think of the author. Let me look it up. Oh, gosh. There's no such thing as an easy job by Kikuko Tsumura. I really liked that book. I think that was the first translated Japanese fiction I read. And I think I listened to it on Everand, so I don't know if it still is on Everand. But that one is a very good story. Almost set up the same way, but it follows the same character in several different jobs. She, like the first one, I don't remember what the jobs all are exactly. It's been a while. But she decides she's fed up. She wants to do something easier.
Mm-hmm.
So each chapter, and I think it's only like 5 or 7 chapters, and I think they're all like an hour or so long,
Mm-hmm.
are her trying to find what she would consider an easy job because she just wants to have an easy job. And the message is, there's no such thing as an easy job.
Right.
No matter what it is, no matter who you are, no job is probably ever going to be easy. Even if it's something you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be easy. And so I really like that story. And, the overall message of you need to have a positive attitude. You need to be appreciative of what you have. So you might like that. And not translated Japanese fiction, but it makes me think of these stories so far. The Midnight Library by somebody.
I remember you talking about that book before.
I did talk about that book before by Matt Haig. I don't know if I gave it to y'all or if somebody took it out of the Little Free Library or if I gave it to somebody else, but it's not here anymore. But this one does start off a little bit more dark.
Okay.
But she's unhappy and she wants to take her own life.
Oh.
So she attempts that.
That's sad.
But I guess it's a magical realism book.
Mm-hmm.
So she wakes up in this place called the Midnight Library, where this librarian is like, what do you want to do? You want to try again? You think you would be happier if you did this instead? If this is how your life went? So she tries several different options.
I remember you talking about that.
So it's all of this very similar to the book we talked about today.
Mm-hmm.
So, all very good. I really liked. I think about there is no such thing as an easy job often. That one. I will say I don't remember if there's anything like cuss words. I don't think there's any. I don't think so. I think in all the translated Japanese fiction I've read, there's not really been any like American cuss words.
Yeah.
At least not often, if at all.
I didn't notice anything.
So that's something you might look forward to. But there might be some in the Midnight Library. Not that I don't think the author was American. So I don't know what that was. If I'm right, I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know what that was translated from. I could be wrong though. I'm kind of wrong about most things. So,
and that's what we love about you.
that's what they love. Yay. Okay. I think that's all I've got in regards to our book.
I thought we did a good job.
I think we did a good job. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention about it. I mean, we covered all the stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first one about the girl in her job that she doesn't think she's good enough for. I liked that one almost the most. That one and the one about the lady, the editor woman who had the toddler.
Yeah.
Those two I liked the most.
I liked the one with the lady with the toddler and the retired man.
Yeah. So, isn't that interesting? I like that. I like that. And I wish we would have known what stories my mom liked the most. And anybody else who was going to participate. There was like 2 other people I thought who were going to participate.
They might have forgotten.
They might have.
Maybe you should send them a text and tell them, hey, I'm going to be editing. So if you want to send me something before I edit.
No pressure. No, it's okay. I will message them just in case if they forgot. But it's fine. They were just people who were like, oh, I need to read that. I was like, okay, yeah. Anyway, this was good. This was a good one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I liked that book. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's it.
That's it. And I even had some recommendations for stuff you might like also.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you as always for listening. It's so wonderful to know that there are so many kindred spirits in the world. Please keep reading and enjoying books. And until next time, stay happily booked.